gives.
Hello everybody, looks like we're live. Let me just make sure everything is up and running. I apologize for being so late. It's just the way things worked out. Welcome to Montezuma. Okay, looks like we're live. And as just looking around, hold on. Okay, we do have some Canada geese nearby. It's a relatively mild day. It's 59 degrees. It's warmer than it has been. It's sunnier than I like it to be, unfortunately. Anyway, I'll tell you why I'm late in a minute. I have seen, by the way, since I arrived, just saw a great blue heron in the distance, some Canada geese I've mentioned. I've seen some tree swallows. I've seen 2 green-winged teals. What else have I seen since I arrived? Oh, some purple martins. Didn't really look at them. The reason why I'm so late, I stopped at Sapsucker Woods because a common loon had been seen there yesterday. So I stopped there, not even knowing if it was still there, earlier this morning. And I was there for a few minutes before someone pointed out that it was still there. And you know, quite honestly, that loon did not make things easy, just because what it was doing, essentially the whole time I was there, it was repeatedly diving and spending, from what I could tell, more time underwater than above water. So I did my best to record it, and you know, when I first heard about it, you know, because some people were there and they pointed out that they had seen it. Okay, fine. I hurried to my car to get better equipment. I had no equipment with me at all at the time, just my binoculars. And anyway, I may have chosen the wrong scope to use because I thought, well, in case there are long distances, I'll get the more powerful setup. Well, that made getting it within the frame that much more difficult, but I did stick with it. But anyway, so it was on the other, you know, it was a ways away on the pond, and eventually I walked over to that other side of the pond and didn't see it at all from there. So I walked back, and luckily I had a few fairly good but very brief close-ups. So I recorded that, and I'm hoping to show that to you later, and or see the loon ourselves live later. But we'll see. A lot of cars here today. A lot of cars were in the parking lot when I first arrived, and it's a sunny day. And you know, yesterday someone who assumed I was going today, who is not a bird watcher, you know, spoke of the weather, indicating, oh, that today would be a good day, and I did not reply back, but you know, 60 degrees, okay, that's fine. You know, roughly, actually 59 up here, and I think 60 elsewhere. But the sun can give us a problem. And we'll see how sunny, I mean, it's sunny right now. Maybe it will, I don't know if it'll get cloudy where we need it to be later. Who knows? The winds are calm, though. I mean, there's a little bit of a breeze, but not too much. Now, we were in this stretch here, this initial stretch last week, when we were lucky enough to see an American bittern. And if you are interested in it, I did post video on YouTube because I thought we had a fairly good look at it. Now that was lucky last week because for whatever reason, I think because someone had stepped out of his vehicle, but I believe the bittern had been fairly on this side of the channel that's to our left. Oh, I see something in the air. And I think, is that an osprey? Can't tell. Hold on. Where'd it go? I can't see it now. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. I'll look with binoculars. It is an osprey. Okay. It is an osprey in the air. Anyway, and I've heard some and seen some red-winged blackbirds now. Anyway, so we were lucky because last week I saw, when that person did exit his vehicle, I believe he startled the American bittern and had it hurrying over to the other side of the water channel that's here. I think that's a turkey vulture in the distance. I can't focus on it. And so we knew to look for it. Although this is really a good stretch for that, that sort of species anyway. Now today with all these cars here, it's one more challenge to worrying about getting around other cars. But we saw just how well that American bittern blended in with the reeds as they're colored right now. Now behind us, the vehicle we just passed, they're looking at or taking pictures of something. I wonder what they see. I don't see anything. But just like last week, and I'm going to set you down, but like last week, you never know. I mean, maybe it matters where you are exactly. And, oh, I forgot to do something. Oh, no, that's right. How'd that happen? That's better. Just like, last week for us, I have a feeling we could only see the bittern and no one else could just because of the reeds blocking everyone else's view but ours. Well, if they see something, I certainly don't. I might be seeing cormorants, I'm not sure, in V formation. Well, no longer a V. These might be double-crested cormorants, I'm not sure. They could be Canada geese, but I don't think so. No, I think they're cormorants. And there is a turkey vulture up there. That's for a certainty now. I don't know if I can get it. See, the sun sometimes makes things challenging for me. Anyway, that's a turkey vulture. I'm not sure what I'm hearing. In the air, yeah, that might be the same turkey vulture. How did this spider get on my car? I guess it's okay if it's on the car. I just don't want it in the car. And I hope it leaves my car before I drive off and take it away from its home. Haven't seen any ducks yet here, other than the two green-winged teals that were near the visitor center. I did see, as I drove here, I did see one or two loons in Cayuga Lake. I even considered stopping to try to photograph, but given how late I was already, I decided not to bother. And they were farther away, certainly, than the loon at Sapsucker Woods eventually was. I was surprised just how far sometimes the loon would swim underwater. Once or twice it completely surprised me, as you know, how far away from its initial diving point it was when it resurfaced. I'm really not looking as well as I should at the reeds. I believe I'm hearing greater yellowlegs. Yes, yep. And two blue-winged teals just flew by. And they flew from there, and too far for me to, or too fast for me to really focus on them. Just heard a song sparrow. Actually, it's pretty quiet here today. I've seen a lot of small turtles, but I'm not focusing on them. Oh, there is, I don't know if I can show it to you well, but there's a great blue heron I saw fly over here, and it's right over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. You can just make it out through the reeds. You know, the reeds and vegetation, they give us troubles very often, but they do, draw some birds that like to use them for cover. Now, ahead of us, there's a woman who's out of her vehicle, and she's taking photographs of something. I don't know what she's photographing or videoing. Is that a word? I'm going to set you down for just a moment. Oh, she's looking at a shorebird, I think. And it may be a yellowlegs, I'm not sure. Greater yellowlegs, where is it? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Well, it's over there in what is for it fairly deep water. And I can't show you with this camera. Not yet. Oh, and it looks like green-winged teals as well. So here's the shorebird. Looks like a greater yellow legs. And like I said, for it, deep water. And behind, oh, here's one of the teals. And I thought I saw another one. Female, but maybe not. Actually, I don't see it, so maybe it was just the... Well, the spider landed right on the camera and I just blew it off. Half time. In somebody's way, I think. Sorry, I just always get a kick out of that. So we're looking at a red-winged blackbird, and it's just bathing a bit. We're moving on. Got people walking and kids riding on bikes and things have dried up a bit, no doubt. You don't see as much water as there had been. Oh, by the way, one thing I did see at Sapsucker were, well, I saw only one, but I imagine there may have been more. I did see a gosling, and it was right near its mother, or father, I don't know, whoever was on the nest. And anyway, there, you know, at least one gosling has hatched. It's a sunny day and it's warm here in the car, but it's It's only 59 degrees according to my thermometer, so it's not really hot, but it feels warm under the sunshine. I hope they're not draining any pools that we go to this year, but I really don't know. Hope they don't drain for the sake of draining. Oh, we've got to do something. No, you don't. I see a couple mallards over here. Looks like 2 males. I have to admit, looking out over this area, this expanse with these grasses poking through, the water, it does make it difficult to spot anything. It would be much easier if it were all just smooth water without any interruption. But, again, it can be a challenge, but sometimes it brings certain species that maybe we would otherwise miss. Who's that in the air? Probably a gull, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. Let me look with binoculars. It does look like a gull, but I'm not going to get it. It's now between the distance and where it is relative to us. Another gull to our right. I'm not going to get that one either. I really like the calm wind. Although the wind sometimes, if there's some wind, it can be helpful. As I've mentioned before, it can seem to encourage larger birds to take to the air. Looks like blue-winged teals way out there. The geese we've already seen. And closer is a goose right here. Geese are scattered here and there all around. I haven't shown you these before, I don't believe. I don't know if there's a nest there or not. And this one looks like it's on a nest. Don't know if anyone has hatched underneath, but you never know. Anyway, what I've been trying to say, a given condition can work both for or against you, depending on what you're wanting to see and its location relative to you. You never know. So today the wind, is very calm compared to how often it is up here. It's very often fairly strong, and it can be good because, yes, it encourages larger birds to take to the air. However, that such wind can also cause us problems with camera shaking and everything like that. Now today things are calm, but we don't have the it looks like northern shovelers out there. I think we're going to stop right here for a moment and switch cameras and take a look and see what we can see out there. I think that's a good idea. Let's move forward just a bit, I think, and I'll stop right here. Okay. The sun is going to give us problems. So again, I mentioned a northern shoveler there, and you can see a male. And there's also, it looks like an American coot behind it swimming back and forth. That's another shoveler by the looks of it, by that profile. Female. Who's that way back there? More green-winged teal, but someone had hopped. See, someone's hopping along there. Looks like either I don't know if it's a grackle or a red-winged blackbird, or I don't know. And behind, not sure who that is swimming there. That's white, or more prominently white, I should say. I can't tell. I mean, not on my little screen here. Coots in the foreground. American coots. That almost, I don't know what that is. Is that, by any chance, is that almost looks like a hooded merganser, but in some ways like just preening itself, but I can't tell. At least not on my screen here. Probably wrong, but I think I am wrong. I don't know. I am wrong, probably. That might be a ringneck duck right there, swimming behind the vegetation now where we can't see it. Shoveler. I didn't catch who just dove. Those are ringneck ducks. I think that one is definitely. Goldeneye? Maybe. Thank you. I don't know if we've ever seen goldeneyes here, though. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't know if we've ever seen one. Then again, I've never seen a common loon at Sapsucker Woods before today. Let's see if I can... See, this is... You know, and tomorrow is supposed to be a rainy day, which has its own problems, but I would take the clouds. You don't want the rain. Not while I'm, you know, trying to do this. Not sure where I was looking. I think I've passed it. We won't stay here much longer, but we'd be getting, I'm convinced we'd be getting a much better look if it weren't so bright sunny right now. Is that it, maybe? What we're looking at? I don't know, maybe not. Just a few more moments and then we're moving on. Whatever it was, I've lost sight of it. I lost track of it. And it looks like I haven't been recording, so I'm not going to get... Oops, sorry. I'm not going to get a like a special look at it later on because I didn't record it. So it will remain a mystery. It's a Canada goose, you know, pretty obviously, but it's, I guess I'm showing you how difficult it is to identify it, even though, I mean, we know what it is, but I mean, given the conditions. Okay, let me just take a quick look with binoculars, and I think we're moving on unless I see something. Closer to us as we drive ahead, it looks like it's mostly shovelers. I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to move on. The people we pass that are actually picnicking here on the road. I don't know if I mean, they allow people to walk. I don't think people are supposed to be picnicking here. One second. This is a red-winged blackbird, if you didn't know. There it goes. While we're here with this camera, let's see what else there is. If there's anything nearby we should be looking at. Again, mostly shovelers out there from what I can tell. Ring-necked ducks right there. One just dove, a male. Not too much variety in terms of the ducks. A little bit, but not much. I mean, it's been what we've seen so far. We've seen blue-winged teal, mallard, northern shoveler, ring-necked duck, and that's just about it. I thought maybe there was a chance we had seen in the very far distance a canvasback, but I wasn't so sure. I think those are probably ring-necked ducks there, but impossible to tell. for me. You may recall last year when they were draining things, you know, that was unfortunate in a way, but fortunate in a way, because as things drained and water levels dropped, you know, that drew more shorebirds to this area as opposed to other areas. So we had some looks at shorebirds we probably wouldn't have had otherwise. Something large is relatively large. Okay, it's a Canada. Okay, that's a Canada goose. I saw it with its as it had dunked its head, and the rest of its body was up above water. I did, by the way, the best I could with that small white duck we saw last week at, you know, from East Road. And I took a clip of that and I sent it. Actually, I sent it to Jay McGowan, and I believe he saw it. Although I may be wrong. It could be someone else saw it by accident, or maybe I saw it in such a way that gave it a count of one view. Normally my views don't count for any videos that I put out there on YouTube. And but he did not reply, you know, with any kind of an opinion. Again, I'm not sure if he's the one who saw it or not, but maybe I wasn't very clear, and hoping that he would reply, but I don't know. Ring neck. I know the car is vibrating and everything, sorry. Let's take a look with binoculars. Great blue heron way out there. Anyway, I really, you know, I don't know what that duck was last week. I guess other people had seen it, and they had called it either a call duck, whatever a call duck is, or a pekin duck, whatever a pekin duck is, or if I had to go with one or the other, I'd probably go with pekin. Hold on, do I see, what do I see? Goslings, cute! Never gets old. And that's just one group. There are more over here. Everybody, why don't you get closer to your parents, please? Let's get organized here. Stay close, you never know what's under the water, too. We'll be moving on soon enough, don't worry. As for the others, they're farther out. They're over here. Okay, let's move forward. Alright, we're going to let them go. And there goes the heron. Okay, 1 second. There was something I just saw. Well, the heron that flew went over here, and there's a second heron right near it. See that one in the back there, behind it a little bit. Okay, let's keep going. I have a feeling we're not going to be able to go to too many places because my late start today. Sorry. And quite honestly, I'd just as soon get back to Sapsucker and maybe have a chance to see the loon again. I would not mind. And we'll probably do things a little differently there than we normally do just because of the loon. You know, to some people, a loon may not be a special sighting. It's a special sighting to me, though. I don't see them all that often, so if I get to see one, I take every opportunity I can. I haven't seen any eagles here yet today. We've seen an osprey. That's really the only large bird we've... Oh, no, I take it back. We've also seen a turkey vulture or two. I think I'm going to probably switch cameras. I have to say, you know, I really enjoy watching Canada geese. You know, the only thing against them is, and it's not really against them, it's just the fact that I see them often. So, you know, to see a goose isn't necessarily an unusual sighting. But they can be fun to watch. They really can. And if you saw the video, the quick video I posted the other day, I had looked out and seen all the geese within my view, all focused on one area, and sure enough, and that had me looking, sure enough, mallard there by the way, sure enough there was a fox there, and you know, you might assume, oh, if the geese see a fox they run away. That's not how it works, at least the geese around me. Some predators, like house cats and foxes, they'll kind of not necessarily attack, although sometimes they will, but they'll either somewhat surround or they'll put up a united front against whatever the animal is, to maybe intimidate the animal and encourage it to leave the area. And that's what happened with that red fox the other day. I think I'm going to switch cameras. I didn't record it as well as I would have liked, and I'd have to say much of the blame was on the snow that had been falling. Nothing accumulated, but it was enough to... a lot of cars here behind me, you should see them all. But it was enough to ruin, you know, the autofocus. I probably should have tried switching to manual focus, but you know, sometimes when you're suddenly finding yourself recording. At least I can speak for myself. I don't always. I often end up thinking I should have done this or I should have done that. Hindsight is 20/20, as they say. I believe I just heard a swamp sparrow. If you're wondering why I haven't shown you what I recorded of the loon already, what I recorded earlier, it's for a couple of reasons. It's on a different camera, for one, and two, I figure we might as well use our sunshine time to see what we can see, and if we have time later, maybe we'll look at what I've recorded. It also depends on how well we've seen. Hopefully we'll see the loon ourselves together. See something in the air. Hopefully we'll see it together later on, or, that sapsucker. I do see a bald eagle in the air. Just came into view. Let me record it. Well, I don't know if I can show you or not, but have another look at it. Okay. Looks like it's, I'm not sure if it's at full adulthood. There's another bald eagle coming, I think. This is the second one right here. And that does look like an adult. Not sure about the first. And this. Come on, Ferris, come on. Where is it? Sometimes when it's really bright, I just have a hard time getting this camera to autofocus. And a third eagle. So all of a sudden we have eagles. It's through the windshield, sorry. This, so from no eagles to 3 in a very short time period, I'll take it. Just heard the vehicle we passed say, "Oh my God, look at that, there's a tornado," and there is what looks like a little dust devil. It's kind of filtering. It's kind of fizzling out, but it was much more defined than where did it? It's gone now, but it lasted several seconds. thinking if I should just try to switch cameras and capture that, but I'm not going to. I think by the time I do so, it'll be not necessarily out of range, but out of range of the being worthwhile. Could say it's been quiet here, and I think it has overall, but you know, I've enjoyed it. I have come here over the years on days where I've seen essentially nothing. Coming up here on Thanksgiving Day one year. I think it was Thanksgiving Day. Saw nothing. Just about nothing. It's like, boy, that was a waste of time. And you know, on a day like Thanksgiving, when I am hoping to, you know, get back in time to, you know, to be with friends and family, and you know, there's only so much time to be up here. So that's why I really don't generally come up here on Thanksgiving any longer, just because it's too far away. And we do have a swan, at least one, on the pool to our right. It's getting a little warm in here, even though it's only 59 degrees. I've got to take off my jacket. One moment. The swan, while it swan and looks like a couple of trumpeters behind it. I'm just not trumpeters. That looks like a trumpeter swan, and it looks like a couple of northern shovelers. No longer behind it, but over there. All right, let me coat off here because it's getting too hot here in the car. I could probably just leave all the windows open, but there is some breeze, and I just assume it not be coming in here while we're trying to record, and at least doesn't get so noisy for you. Channel to my left, I want to see if there's anything in the distance, and there is something there. Look like mallards and a couple Canada geese and more mallards. I think we're going to just move on. We had a fairly decent look at a trumpeter here at two trumpeters here last week. I only see one right now. Trumpeter Swan to our right. I wonder if something happened or something's going on, or who knows. There's always a chance they're nesting here, and maybe one is hidden on a nest somewhere. It's always a possibility. I'll give you another quick look at the trumpeter I can see. And I believe I may have just heard a northern flicker. Well, maybe, I don't know. So this one is just feeding right there, and I have, there's no sign that I can see of the other one that we saw last week. This could be a totally different one anyway. I don't know. Oh, what did I see there? A couple more mallards on the grass. Okay. Green-winged teal right there. Thought I might have heard something, maybe not. As I've mentioned, you know, there seems to be too much water in that pool for shorebirds. You know, very often it's a good draw for shorebirds, but with that much water, not so much. To our left, a couple of mallards, both males. To our left, there's another duck of some sort. It is a blue-winged teal. Quick look at, oh, and a couple mallards a little ways away from it. Where'd the teal go? And switch cameras, and maybe I should, and see if I can give you a better look at the teal. Here are the mallards. The teal will be backlit. Let's give it a try anyway. See if we can see it a little better. Where is it? Oh, naturally it's behind the vegetation now. Alright, we're not going to get a very good look at it if it's hiding in there, but I tried. Okay, we're going to move forward. I'm going to leave this camera in place, I think. Oh wait, hold on one second. Well, let's try again. Well, it's not a great look, but again, we're looking at a blue-winged teal. It's a male. I don't see another one here, so I don't know if it's got a mate nearby or not. That white stripe on its face for me is the best indicator. Alright, I'm going to leave everything in place where we're going to continue driving. Pardon me, I'm just, looking on the other side of the road too. Actually, more than I am on the side you're pointing to. Mallards nearby, one male and female, the male swimming away. I guess overall it's kind of quiet. I could say it's still fairly early in the season in some ways. Like it or not, some of the vegetation, regular grasses are growing, but the reeds, they all look like they're still, they're dead from last year. Oh, I don't know what that was. A sparrow of some sort, I believe. I might have had a good look, but it flew away. So anyway, I mean, a lot of things haven't happened yet. You know, there are many species that, you know, I've only heard reports of, and having them, you know, considered, you know, early. You know, like for instance, marsh wren. Now I haven't heard one here yet, although some had been heard before. Close that other window so it's not so noisy in here. We haven't seen, you know, gallinules here ourselves. A lot of species like that we haven't seen yet. So, you know, it's still early in the season. Sorry about this. Maybe I should switch cameras. You know, I think I will actually. We're in the last stretch of wildlife drive. I think it's going to be all throughout the warmer months. The vegetation that grew in last year is still here, although all dried up, and it may block our views. But it may, as I've said earlier today, it may draw some birds here. Who knows? Little heron flying by. Missing any waterfowl. Not some Canada geese though. Moving up here. And is that Howard, I think? Yes. I think another one over here. Oh, that's a shovel. Let's try to take a look. couple ducks just, I don't know what they were, just flew from our left to our right and over the highway. So I don't know, and they're out of view now. Is that a piebald grape? I think it is. Okay, that's a piebald grape, which is not a duck, but it has the same general shape as one. Sorry, it's a little shaky, but we're not going to get a good view from here anyway. Not with that light. Somebody's splashing out there. Green-winged teal, I think. Yes. Male green-winged teal. Splashing. Really quiet over here. I mean, not much to see at all, really. Just the occasional duck or grebe here and there. Like morning shovelers to me. Couple ducks in the air. I don't know if they're going to come in for a land. I don't know what they are. May have been mallards. Guessing these are green-winged teals. That's what they look like to me. Too far. Some mallards. All right, let's switch camera. By the way, if you were wondering, yes, the visitor center was again closed today. No surprise. I think that's just going to just about do it. Oh, I see a... Great comparing to our right in the distance. That's probably just gonna do it for wildlife drives. We may see something yet, but just heard a song sparrow. Turkey vulture in the air. One just about right above the road, and the I don't know what I see in the air. Not sure if it's a Harrier or some other type of hawk. Come on, Wyatt. Come on. The tail may have been a little long. I didn't record it quickly enough, but. That looks like another turkey vulture. Leaving our view. But that tail may have been long on that bird that I suspect was may have been either a red-tailed hawk or it may have been a northern harrier. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a Harrier. Where'd it go? Shoot. So we're looking at a northern Harrier right now. So we're definitely seeing one of those. And okay, those two maybe turkey vultures we've already seen. I think the one that was over the road was flying that way. Anyway, I have to move along just because we have cars behind us. To see more? Yes, I want to see more, but am I completely displeased? No. It's a beautiful day, but these are difficult conditions. Not too windy. Not that I want it really windy, but you know what I said earlier. Sometimes the wind can help us, a little bit of wind. The sun is definitely a challenge. That is definitely a challenge. If we were to look at the rookery right now, it's all backlit. And brightly so. And would someone get the fly or whatever that's making noise back there out of my car? Thank you. I don't see much on the Maze Point pool. There are people out there on the observation deck looking. So we're heading to East Road, but last week by the time we were there it was kind of sunny, and that made things very difficult when we wanted to look at that white duck, whatever it was. The osprey nest we're about to pass does have somebody on it, without a doubt this time, and there's another somebody in the air, probably going to fly right over us, and it is an osprey. Hi, osprey. Just flew right over us, and I could easily, very clearly see its nice shadow because it wasn't very high off the ground. Okay. Breeze feels good. It's hot here in the car. I see a tree swallow and another. And what do we see in the air flying around? This is through the windshield, sorry. I may have just heard a white-throated sparrow. I'm not sure. And I just heard a song sparrow. I did hear, while I was at Sapsucker, I was hearing the white-throated sparrows pretty clearly. There was at least one, I believe, but I believe there were two. A robin. American robin, that is. Hello, beautiful. Let's see if we can look at beautiful right here. Even though we've seen robins before, I've seen them last week. If it stays put. I like the sunshine. Come on, wire. That's why I want to do it. Something big just flew overhead. I saw its shadow. By the lighter coloration, I'd say this is a female. We saw a male singing last week. Sounds like another robin is singing. And that's that. I'm not just here just to look at rare birds or birds I infrequently see. I mean, sometimes if I have an opportunity to see a bird that I might see all the time, but see it very well, I'll take that opportunity. Hey. I am so sick of them doing that. They did that to us a couple weeks ago. Anyway, that was an eastern bluebird, a male, and I was hoping to give you a good look, but no. Just saw a red-winged blackbird. See much activity down there. When I say I don't see much, I mean I don't see any, at least not with the naked eye, but there may be some ducks down there. Let me just take a quick look at binoculars. I hear frogs. I do see some waterfowl, not much. Not sure what it is. Second. Here we go again. I really regret this lighting, the bright sunshine. All right, we're gonna move ahead and turn around and see if we can get a better look, but I'm not counting on a much better result, to be honest with you. Not with this sunshine like this. And oh, a larger bird is in the air. It's an osprey. Breeze feels good. I have to admit, it's hot here in the car. 60 degrees apparently outside, if the rumors are true. It's getting late. It's, you know, just about 20 after 3 right now, so we don't have that much time. I don't believe I'm going to go to either Cairncross or Sandhill Crane Unit again, you know, this week either. If it were a cloudy day and if I had, you know, a sense that people have seen things there, I would probably go. But given what I'd like to see in Ithaca and given the conditions here, we're not going to be here that much longer. Okay, let's start right here. I think I heard a swamp sparrow. See what we can see from here, okay? first of all, the osprey. This is not the best way to track a bird in flight from within the car, but so bear with me. I'll do my best. Let's look down at the water a little bit. See if we can get a sense of who's down there. Taking a closer look, we have maybe more ducks down there than I had realized. Oh, that's a northern pintail. I thought I had heard one. And there are green-winged teals down there. Those may be more teals, I'm not sure. Okay, we also have some vegetation and other stuff in the way, unfortunately. More pintails than I realized. You can hear them. Bald eagle up high. I don't know if I can get it for you or not. Probably not, but you never know. I don't think I'm going to get it, sorry. Anyway, those are the first northern pintails we've seen today. Let me get my bearings here. Let's look at these, and then I think we're going to move to, back from the direction from which we came. I think we've got some gadwalls down there. You can see the distortion is getting bad. Sorry about that, but that's the sunshine's fault. I need a big, 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 big umbrella. Alright, we're going to move ahead. And hopefully get maybe a better view of that white bird that's down there. The mystery duck. fine. Purple hair. Okay. Now these, we may have seen these already, I'm not sure. Yeah, I believe these are the gadwalls we've already seen. I think those are mallards. Teals, I think. That's a green-winged teal, and that may be also, I can't tell. All right, let's continue on. From here, I do not, with the naked eye, see that white mystery duck. Maybe it'll come into view, but I don't see it. Hold on a second. Is that it? Let's stop and look from here. This may help us. I'm not sure. I do see it, I believe. I probably should switch to the other scope, but maybe, I don't know. It has its head tucked in by the looks of things. That could be a greater yellow legs there, I'm not sure. Which is a shorebird if you don't know. Okay, you know what? We're going to move forward again. Don't turn off the camera. Okay, let's move forward. I may switch scopes. I don't know. The problem is the sunshine. It's not as much the magnification as the sunshine. And the resulting heat shimmer in the air. Let me just take a look from here, 1 second. I know the engine's still... you know what? I think I might as well stop here and try to take a look. Okay, let's... I don't think it's going to get any better than this. So what I'm going to do is I think I am going to switch scopes and see if that can help us a little bit. If you'll give me a moment. You can hear the frogs. Okay, I'm ready to switch, so there we go. everything's set so that they're stable. I'm looking in the wrong spot. We're not going to see anything if it's going to have its head tucked back like that. I think that's as good as it's going to get. And while we're looking at that, I'm going to look around a bit with binoculars. Thought I may have seen something, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if once I see it with the scope, it proves to be just some vegetation. Northern Harrier just came into view. Come on. This is really the worst setup for it. That's the shadow. I should be on the other scope or even the other camera. And you could say, well, why don't you change? Well, because it's in the air now, and I'm hoping to get a look at it. It's getting farther away. It's hard to find. It's now farther away. I would have, if I had been out on my tripod, for instance, might have been a good look. Anyway, it was a Northern Harrier, and you saw its shadow and maybe caught a glimpse of it just a bit, but not much. Sorry about that. Let's look. I'm going to set things back to looking at that white duck, whatever it is, and then I'm going to continue to look around. And we're only going to be here another few minutes, and then maybe I'm going to head back to Ithaca. I'd rather get there a little sooner than later. Ferris, the white duck, please. Sorry, it's just more difficult for me to find things with this setup. It seems like everybody's snoozing down there. Meaning the white one. So you can see it is snoozing, or at least having its it's resting its head in its back, or over its shoulder, I should say. And you can see how it's roughly comparable to green-winged teals in terms of size. But I think it's time for us to move on, or for me to move on, and maybe head back to Ithaca. I realize this has been a rather short visit here, but let's, I think we'll go to Mays Point, just take a quick look there, and then maybe from there I'll head back, or we'll stop at Shockey. Look around, see if there's anything of great interest. Let me switch scopes, because for general use I prefer the other one. And I mean that for general use. I mean, for specific uses, yes, this one works out better. I mean, if you're... Sometimes I need the extra magnification, and it's come in handy. Other times I'd rather have a little bit less magnification and more flexibility, you could say, of the other setup. While I'm packing up here a little bit, you know, it's often when we've got a situation coming up beforehand, I try to give it some thought. Okay, what's going to work best for me? Especially, you know, if I'm going to be out of the car and I know I can't switch. Definitely some advantages to being in the car and having my gear with me. If things don't work out, I can switch to something else. Just take another look or two. Cloudy day would have been nice. Alright, let's make a couple stops on the way back, and we'll see if there's anything of interest. If not, I'm going to pack up and head to Ithaca. was that? Hold on. I think it's a bluebird again. Okay. Larger birds in the air. I'm not sure if they're eagles or not. And we're near that osprey nest, and they do look like eagles. Eagles? All through the windshield, sorry. And the osprey nest is right up here. Hey. And we're moving on. People out on the platform, but I don't know if they're seeing much. Hold on, something just landed. It may have been a goose. Yes. 3 Canada geese out there, actually. I have a feeling we won't be staying. I think I see a common grackle. I think that's what that is. Definitely just saw a common grackle. See flying in the distance, great blue heron. Just heard a black-capped chickadee. It's singing. I can see, you know, the water, not really well, but I can see it a bit. And given our timetable, I think we're going to just move on. I'm not even going to bother to get out of the car and go look. Number of people are out there on the platform. I might not be able to go out there. Social distancing. There may be something worth seeing at Chalky Pool. I don't know. It's distant. It's going to be distant from the tower. And I'm not even sure if I just saw waterfowl or if I saw just, leaves poking through the water. So I'm going to do what I have done of late, and that is I'll get out, climb the tower a bit, and take a look. People at the top of the tower, maybe I won't even climb all the way up there. See, from here I can't see them. We've got grasses in the way. I can't see because they drained the pool a couple years ago, and as a result, since we've had a lot of vegetation grown in here. Actually, they drained it twice over the course of I think 3 years. They weren't happy with the results, and they drained it again. Okay, so I'm gonna just get out of the car quickly and see if there's anything worth staying here for. If not, we're gonna pack up and head to Ithaca. Be right back. Okay, unsurprisingly, I'm saying we're skipping it. We're gonna move on, and it's unfortunate, but you know the way things are at the moment, and they might improve over time in terms of it being worth staying here. I think I might see a northern harrier in the distance, but with this sunny weather, long distances involved, and it's not like we've got other smaller birds, really a lot of small birds to look at nearby, as is often the case later in the season. I think it's time for us to, or for me anyway, to pack up and head to Ithaca. So I'd say roughly 20 minutes after 5, everybody. 20 minutes after 5, I hope to restart. Hopefully I'll get there on time. Actually, in a way, I hope I don't get there on time, but that means usually that I've stopped and seen something. Okay, you hear me? Are you with me? Okay, you've got it. All right, I'll see you guys in a little while. Bye, everybody.